Hello, my threeple, and welcome back to the Triple A-Pex podcast. This is episode 17. I'm your host, 3LNEX, as usual, and we have Keeper here back as our co-host. Let's all welcome him back, shall we?
Yay.
Let's go. But anyways, we got some pretty exciting stuff to talk about this time around on the podcast, as Season 11 Escape is pretty much right around the corner. Season 10 absolutely blew right by, and it's absolutely insane. And of course, we have so much information revealed. Ash was confirmed as the next legend, and we have the car SMG coming into the game as a weapon, and it's gonna have a really unique feature with it, which I don't know. It seems really cool. We also have the new map Storm Point, which is on the planet Gaia, and there's some pretty cool stuff we have to talk about with that. And we also had the trailers, and we're having a gameplay trailer come out in 2 days from now, as of recording the podcast. So without further ado, let's try to dive into this if we can. So, Keeper, why don't you first start us off with, let's go in kind of a chronological order here. Like first with kind of like with the story of the Outland stuff, like with Ash being revealed.
So there's been those comics on Twitter that Respawn has been dropping.
Mm-hmm.
There's this little story about Ash being Ashley, the scientist with the one who dropped Horizon into that black hole. So there's a little grudge between them. Horizon originally thought that she was one of her friends.
Yeah, Lillian Peck.
But yeah, it turns out it's not. So they had a conflict for a second, and Revenant was also trying to stop Horizon from, awakening Horizon or awakening Ash, because he knows what it's like being a simulacrum and having to deal with all that like pain and remembering.
Mm-hmm.
So it could either be like him being like super nice and him not wanting to do that, or it could be he doesn't want someone in his way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't want someone like him. Because he's pretty sinister, so I wouldn't be surprised if he decided to be that villain. But
Then of course, the comics led into the story from the Outlands, and we got to see some more stuff about Ash's lore and whatever. So she basically she was on an operating table like after the whole incident at the phase at what was the lab that ended up turning into Phase Runner and whatever. So yeah, she ended up surviving that, but she was still severely wounded, and she did want to become a simulacrum, and she became a simulacrum. And it showed some other stuff that was a part of Ash's lore, like when Pathfinder found her in the dumpster, like by Hammond Labs. And it even showed like the part where you execute her during the Titanfalls 2 campaign, which is insane. So the story of the Outlands was really cool. Again, left off from where the comics were that were on Twitter. And yeah, now there's going to be some sort of Ash Horizon rivalry in the Apex Legends games, and we can kind of see that in the launch trailer that came out, which also confirmed the new map Stormpoint, which again is on the planet Gaia, and it's a really interesting map to say the least. It's going to have wildlife on it, but definitely it is going to have like the AI in certain centralized areas. From what I know, there's going to be a prowler pit and a spider pit as well. So those giant spiders we saw in the season 9 comic, they're coming back, and this time they're actually AI. And like I said, we're getting prowlers on the map too. There was a prowler that chased Mirage in the launch trailer, which is cool, I guess. And then something that wasn't seen in the launch trailer is that there is actually going to be Goliaths on the next map as well, on Stormpoint. And if you don't know what a Goliath is, it's that giant lizard monster creature from Bloodhound's story from the Outlands. And it has like a horn on its nose, whatever. It's basically a reptilian King Kong. Whatever. It's massive. And they're apparently, I don't know if they're going to roam about the map or if there is going to be a spot where they are, like a Goliath pit or something. I don't know. There's going to be a unique AI aspect coming in with Stormpoint. That's going to be its little niche. Like, we are getting tridents on Stormpoint, and like pretty much tridents were a niche on Olympus, but now we have AI as a niche for Stormpoint. Whatever. So yeah, it looks really cool. We didn't really get to see like too much of a look at a lot of the POIs on Storm Point, but we do get to have a nice idea of what it's like. It's a tropical map, and there was actually a teaser that was posted on Twitter not too long ago for the map and one of the POIs, and it looks really interesting. Like, I'm pretty excited for Storm Point, to be honest. Like, I'm not feeling as excited for it as previous maps, but I still think it's gonna be really nice, cool, luxurious map. Well, probably not luxurious, but it's gonna be really nice sunny map. But there is a storm that's brewing on that area, so yeah, we don't really know. But I'd love to hear your thoughts about Storm Point, honestly. But now let's try to get back on track while talking about Ash, and because that was the first thing I wanted to talk about. So, and also just so you know, Keeper is gonna have to go AFK for a minute. So, yeah. But anyways, let's get into the topic about Ash. So, of course, Ash was revealed as the next legend, which is pretty insane, pretty crazy, and yeah, Ash just seems super super cool, honestly. And we now have confirmed abilities for her, like confirmed abilities, like we know what her abilities are now, and there was somebody did actually leak a bunch of stuff that involved season 11, including Ash durabilities and even the battle pass. We're not going to go into total detail on the battle pass, but I will say that there is one legend in particular that people really wanted to have like a swimsuit skin. It's not Loba, it's Gibraltar. Oh my gosh, I just spoiled it. But Gibraltar's not getting a swimsuit skin, sadly. To all of you who wanted it, he's getting like some sort of tropical soldier kind of skin. I don't know. And the same is for Mirage. Oh my gosh, I just spoiled it. But anyways, like it's still really cool. I guess that Gibraltar's finally getting a legendary in a battle pass. But okay, I'm still just getting off track. Okay, we're talking about Ash. Her abilities were confirmed along with, or were shown off along with a bunch of other stuff that was blatantly spoiled. And Ash's passive is an ability called Marked for Death, which allows her to see where recent death boxes are. And if you go up to a death box, you can use your character utility key to reveal if there are any remaining enemies from that squad where they're, or from wherever the death box dropped, or it's from whatever squad killed that person. I don't know. I think it's the first one. Like you can see where you can see where it's revealed whether or not there's any remaining teammates of that squad or not, or teammates that are teammates of that dead person.
It's a scan for the rest of the squad, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's a passive. It's going to be a strong passive, pretty much, and I think it will be. It's going to be really useful, to say the least. And then we have Ash's tactical ability, which is called Arc Snare, and it's basically this little shuriken-like thing. Kind of looks. It's like a double-edged blade. It's a little small knife that you throw. It goes into the ground, and it like sticks enemies, or it like tethers enemies that get too close to it, and it stuns them. Now I've seen that ability again from the leak, and it does 10 damage, but I hope like the tethering is strong enough to make up for that damage, pretty much. It was originally supposed to be some sort of ball, from what I know of, and that's actually the thing that we've seen in the game files. That was the Ash Mark Death thing in the game files, the little sphere that became this area of effect. It ended up becoming the snare, or whatever it is. And then we have the ultimate, which is shockingly the phase breach ability that was leaked a while ago. Although it was altered to an extent, it's still a dash ability, but this time it can go a distance. Let's just say that it can go a pretty good distance, and Ash uses her sword to create a tear through space or whatever, and to create that portal. Now the portal ability seems really interesting, as kind of looking at it, I don't know if it's exactly like what we could have expected as like a rotational ability or whatever, because it looks like it disappears really quickly. Now I don't know if that's just because like it's kind of on a slant, or wait, no, I don't think so. I think it might be more of a selfish ultimate, but I don't really know. Unless if it is going to be more of a team-based ability. But it seems to be kind of like a Wraith phase. That's distance and a simple dash to point A to point B. At least that's what it looks like. So Ash seems like a really interesting legend. I think she'll be solid, but I don't know if she's gonna be like insanely overpowered, is what a lot of people think. I think like people will for sure like have fun with using Ash since like her abilities seem really fun, like mostly her tactical and her ultimate. So yeah, she seems really cool as a legend. I'll definitely be sure to try out Ash and see if she's gonna be a good legend or not. But Keeper, do you want to give your thoughts yet, or are you still a little busy right now, being AFK?
I can talk.
All right.
Um, so the way I see Ash, her character, her kid is supposed to be. I guess it seems super selfish. Like it's just supposed to be for her. I guess it's for those solo queue wraith warlords. I guess, and her tactical ability is strongly reminisces of the Gravity Star from Titanfall 2.
Yeah, that's what
And
I thought as well.
I'm assuming that her ultimate ability, it seems super cool. Like honestly, it's really cool. But hopefully it allows like more mobility. Like when I like heard of it and when I saw it on paper, I was like, yeah, that's gonna be really cool. But seeing it like in the leaks and in game, it seemed really slow and it goes straight. So it's only useful, I'm guessing, in cover and none, or I guess if you're going in the open and you really need to go somewhere, kind of like Rafe's Q ability. And so I didn't see any sort of like team, like you know, any way for your team to use it with you, which was kind of a bum, like kind of bummed me out about, because Apex is a very team-based game, and I guess it's showing that Ash won't be really viable in a ranked or competitive scene,
I mean,
which
like
kind of
again
bums
with
me out.
like the marked for death ability that she has, I think that'll for sure bring up her team potential. But again, with like her ultimate, kind of her tactical. Well, I think I can see her tactical being useful for the team because you're tethering enemies to help, which will obviously help your teammates like secure kills better. But obviously, with the ultimate, it's not really what we're expecting. Of course, we could be wrong, and like of course there's the EA game changers. They're gonna release gameplay at some point, so we'll see like what their thoughts are about Ash's abilities and if they think like they're good or not. And that should hopefully give us an idea of what her ultimate is like. So yeah, like Ash does seem like a really cool character, although I think she won't be as like overpowered as many people think. But she'll probably be strong, and again, like she seems to be a really more combat focused legend, like kind of reminding me of Fuse a little bit. I think she's gonna be one of those legends where it's more of a you gotta fight with this character. You can't just stay in one spot and camp or whatever. Like that's how I feel like Ash is supposed to be played, like seeing her abilities, pretty much. It's encouraging you to get into the combat and to fight, which might make her a little bit of a trickier legend to play, but I don't really know. She'll hopefully be a really fun legend to play and whatever. And we're gonna see the gameplay trailer coming up soon, so maybe we'll see a little bit more of her abilities in action, but I don't really know. Okay, a little bit of okay. I think we're kind of done with this little topic now, so let's kind of do a little bit of backtracking back to the next map, Stormpoint. Do you want to give your thoughts on that, Keeper? If you can, of course. All right, I'm guessing you can't, so I think we'll move on to a different topic. And
Wait,
maybe, oh,
wait, my bad. I was muted.
oh,
What did you say? What did you
okay.
say?
Your thoughts on Stormpoint, the next map?
Oh, I think it's gonna be awesome. I just don't know. They didn't really show that much in the little launch trailer that they
Yeah,
had, but they always show like little stuff like the beach. The beach seemed really cool. I really like the tropic type of thing. I really like the forest. You know what I'm talking about? Like that forest vibe.
yeah,
And there's also that crash ship, which
yeah.
seems also really
Which
cool.
was actually Bangalore's cruise ship, or when she was like an IMC grunt. I think that was the one of the ships she was on with along with her brother Jackson.
Yeah, seems really cool. Hopefully,
Yeah,
it's like it has little like lore pieces and stuff that will like progress in the story in that map, and then hopefully it'll have like its own little unique vibe, which will probably be the AI
yeah, the
life,
wildlife.
wildlife. So yeah, it seems really cool to me.
Also, I kind of forgot to mention this. There's actually a picture that was showed of what the mini map on Stormpoint is going to look like. I don't exactly remember it, but it looks like there's going to be a lot of choke points on it, which I don't know how that'll affect anything. So it seems like it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be like King's Canyon where there's going to be third party mayhem, but it looks like there might be a lot of choke points on the map, which will seem really interesting, and can't wait to see how gameplay is going to work on that map personally, if it's going to be sort of like that with a lot of choke points. But anyways,
Yeah.
now we can move on to the next topic, which is the car SMG, which was revealed to be the next weapon. I think this one took a lot of people by surprise, probably data miners and other news channels especially, because I don't really think people were expecting a new weapon to come next season, since we were already getting like a new map to kind of make up for it. But I don't know. But it seems really it's really cool we're getting the car. It's a Titanfall 2 fan favorite, and it's a nice little SMG. It can be compared to the R99 in some circumstances, but it's a really consistent weapon. Although I don't, yeah, its recoil still looks pretty consistent in Apex Legends, because once again there was a leak that showed the car SMG along with Ash. So yeah, the car SMG seems really cool, and there's actually a little unique feature this gun has, like how the Rampage has like its own thermite charge feature. Then the bow is a bow with 2 hop ups, and what's the
And
other
like
unique stuff that we
30-30.
got? Yeah, 30-30 with its little charge up feature. And the car SMG is going to be able to use 2 ammo types, heavy ammo and light ammo. It was originally a while ago it was thought to have light ammo, but then there was a dev accidentally streamed a test build of Apex and it was seen by heavy ammo. So I kind of assumed it would be changed to heavy ammo, especially how like we only have like one true heavy ammo SMG, the Prowler. But now it seems like we have our first hybrid like weapon in game, which is heavy ammo and light ammo at the same time, and that's the car SMG. And basically how that's going to function is you'll be able to switch like which ammo you use, as it seems. So whatever you use to like per se like switch fire modes on certain weapons, you or to switch fire modes, like for example like 30-30, no, not 30-30, what the heck am I saying, R301 single, R301 full auto to R301 single fire. Like it's gonna be kind of similar to that, but with the car and different ammo types, and it's really
Cool.
interesting. It'll
Yeah.
make it versatile, and I think that could actually be really good in like certain scenarios. Like if you're out of like a certain type of ammo, you have another one in stock, so that's really cool.
Yeah. I like that the guns that they've been coming out with have had this little, their own little features.
Yeah,
Seems really nice. I like it a lot.
yeah,
Gives them uniqueness.
the car seems really fun, and I think it's gonna be pretty insane as well. I think it's gonna be competing with the R99, the Volt, and the Prowler, of course. The SMG meta seems like it's gonna be tight this season, similar to shotgun. Now, well, I think we all know like which shotgun's the best, like the Eva 8. That's pretty much the meta, alongside the Peacekeeper, kind of. But in my opinion, the Eva 8 comes out on top. And now we have basically a competitive SMG meta, which might be between the Volt. Well, the Volt, in my opinion, is the best SMG. It's the most versatile. But now we have another versatile SMG coming into play. So, and yeah. So we have a competitive SMG meta, and okay, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, that's right. Good news, R301's not going into the care package.
Yeah. The G7 is. Yay.
Yeah, the G7. It's an interesting change, and along with that, triple takes coming back as ground loot. So yeah, that's really interesting. We'll miss the G7, kinda, for the time being. It was, it was interesting using that gun, and yeah, it's kind of sad to see in the care
Yeah.
package, but it's fine or whatever. We get the triple take back, and the triple take is insane. But anyways,
Yeah, I
let's
actually really like the triple take.
yeah, and it can be used as a shotgun as well because it has like the probably the best hip fire of all the snipers. Well, it's a marksman weapon now, but it's still got a nice little hip fire. Okay, now where was I going? Oh yeah, that's right. Did you probably want to give your thoughts a little more on the car SMG?
I've used the car SMG a lot, and it kind of reminded me a lot of the R9 or the I think R97 from Titanfall 2. Those guns were like, top tier SMGs in Titanfall 2, so I really can't wait for the SMG to come to Apex Legends. And I really love seeing these types of weapons like going into the Apex Legends and giving the game more like versatility with like these close combat weapons like SMGs and like I just can't wait for them to add like a shotgun or a pistol. There's a lot of power. Um, so it's really nice to see like a new SMG. Like since the Volt came out, that was probably the biggest gun besides probably like I'm guessing like the Rampage maybe. But the Volt has been so good, and I know the car is gonna be really good because I've used it in Titanfall, and the iron sights are actually pretty good too. To be honest, even though they like stick out, like a pitchfork.
Yeah.
But but I'm sure that it'll be good. I know the fire rate is so fast, and I know they might tweak the damage because in Titanfall it did a moderate amount of damage. Like I think the R97's fire rate was a lot faster than the car.
Yeah.
But it did have a lot more ammo. And seeing the car going in the Apex, they're probably gonna maybe add more damage. Since that's what they did with the R97 when they made it R99. So that's
Yeah.
probably what they're gonna do.
The R99,
But yeah,
the R99 for sure has a faster fire rate than the car, but then the car like seems like it's gonna do a little bit more damage. I think once again it's gonna be really competitive, the SMG meta with like the Volt car R99 such. I think the Prowler isn't really being used as much, but that's still a really strong gun. Then the alternator we have in the care package as of now, which yeah, the alternator is insane in the care package. Like all this stuff with season 11, it's pretty cool. Like again, like the car SMG's hype, Ash's hype. Hopefully, going to be a really strong legend. The new map Stormpoint is hype, and then of course we have the Battle Pass, which is coming up with a Gibraltar Legendary, and also another little spoiler: the Prowler is going to be getting the next reactive skin. So two SMGs have gotten a reactive skin in a row now. So that's really interesting. And I'm not gonna completely talk about what the Prowler reactive skin is gonna be like, but it's kind of like a pipe skin, in a way. Like I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's really what I expected. I just really
uh,
hope like we get a Hemlock or a Triple Take reactive skin soon. Like I really want to see those.
yeah, I don't really know. If I'm gonna give my opinion on the reactive Prowler skin, I don't think it looks that good. Like I really don't think it looks that nice. People were talking about that the season 11 battle pass might not even be all that, to be honest. But we'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
I probably think this battle pass we had in season 10 is definitely a little better than the one we're getting
yeah,
in season 11, but I can't completely complain about anything.
yeah. I mean, who knows? When it's in game, the in-game model might look a little different. It might look a
Yeah,
little better because it was kind of like you know what I mean, like that that type of pool pipe vibe. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So so maybe I don't know. I just don't see how it would work. I'd see it as like a legendary skin, but probably not a reactive skin. But yeah,
yeah. When you look at it, it just looks like more like a typical legendary rather than a reactive skin. But I think there will be some sort of feature with it to kind of make up for that. Like maybe it's like I have to refresh myself on what it looks like. I will like after we're done recording, but I there could be like something that comes out of the pipes. Maybe who knows? Like maybe like fire smoke or something to probably make up for it. Who knows? But yeah, season 11 stuff. Once again, it's looking pretty cool. There isn't like any like super substantial content coming in, like any new game modes, permanent game modes like the team deathmatch, whatever. But the new map, it's good enough. Like that's gonna be cool. Let's hope there aren't any like big server issues at the beginning of the season, because that might
definitely.
completely screw things up and whatever. So yeah, And I think that's pretty much all we have to talk about like kind of the leaks and like the brand new stuff that's coming in. Now I kind of want to get into a few more or a couple more little things, and I literally just lost what I was about to talk about. Oh yeah, the next upcoming collection event, and we don't know what it is yet, but I kind of wanted to kind of do a little bit of speculation about it as of now because I think it'd be really fun. So what do you think the next collection event this season will be like? We know that Watson's heirloom will most likely be the heirloom, but what do you see it being like? All right, I'll probably give my thoughts first then. I think it's good. It's obviously gonna have a similar theme to the Battle Pass. That's what it's been like for like a while now. And what else? Again, Watson's heirloom is interesting, and that's obviously gonna be the heirloom once again. And I don't
It
know
sucks. I hate it.
what
It sucks. I hate it.
the Watson's heirloom.
Yes, it's terrible.
I can get behind that definitely. I just wish I a Walmart scanner is basically what it is. Like I don't know. They could have just done something a lot better than what they did, but sadly, at least Watson mains are getting their heirloom. Like that's obviously going to be really nice, and at least we're getting an heirloom next collection event. But on the bright side, it seems like we will get a buff along with that heirloom, and I don't know if they're going to do a town takeover because they pretty much do that every other season with collection events. But yeah, I think Watson buff will for sure be coming, and that heirloom. Hopefully, the heirloom looks better in game. The same was with Rampart's heirloom. Like it seemed a little meh, like in the game files, but once it was in the game, it looked a lot better. So I hope the same's with Watson's heirloom. And yeah, I really hope they bring in like an actual LTM mode with the next collection event, whatever it is, as well. I'd be really curious. I'd be really curious to see what that would be like, and hopefully not just like skins, but actual like standout content with like a new LTM or whatever. But I
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
Oh yeah. And also, people are talking about like they might drop private matches along with season 11. I
yeah,
remember when people were talking about like they're gonna drop all this stuff. Remember like the War Games thing?
yeah,
They're gonna drop a lot of game modes. They're gonna drop a lot of like banger content. So hopefully the people like hopefully we get what we like been expecting, and
yeah,
that we get what we've been like hoping for like months now,
yeah. There could be a
like more than half a
possibility
year.
of private matches coming in with probably the next midway patch. But I don't know. I probably think private matches could be coming in season 12 or whatever. But we don't really know. There's also a cryo grenade that was leaked a while ago. We talked about it before. That seems like it could very well come in a midway patch. Usually, new items or new ground or new loot items added to like the loot pool. They use those. Usually, those are released in midway patches. So I'd probably think the cryo grenade has a good chance at coming into the game during the midway patch. We're gonna have to see, but I can't wait to see how that little thing works. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what this next collection event's gonna be like. We'll probably have beach related skins. I don't know. I'd really
Yeah, we
like to see
yeah
water gun
we might
skins.
definitely. We also saw Ash's legendary skins, and they
Oh
seem so
yeah.
good. They look amazing.
Yep.
And those beach skins, well they'll drop with the battle pass, and those probably will be like probably the best skins that I think so far will be in the battle pass, like season 11 battle pass. Um, hopefully those will be like they'll go on like respected characters like Loba, Wink Wink, and like all like we saw Fuse when he was like popping
Oh
out there,
yeah. They're
and
probably
man was he
teasing a Fuse
smexing.
bathing suit
He was, he
skin.
was he looked so good, like damn. But but yeah, I think I mean I don't know. It probably might be starter skin, like once you first buy the battle pass.
yeah.
Um, and I was thinking like during this battle pass, like I was like contemplating if it's worth getting, because like I don't really like spending money on video games, but I've just been doing it like to try it out, see if it's worth it. And
I'm probably
I
just gonna
season what?
I'm probably just gonna buy the battle pass anyway, regardless of it being bad or not. I don't know.
Damn. But I don't really spend money on games except for season 10, which was the first time I ever really like grinded out the battle pass when I bought it. And I did it fairly quickly, if I'm being honest. Like I got to 100 like I guess like halfway through the season, and I just completed it recently, like to 110, because I just stopped. I just took a huge break from playing.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I just like haven't been focusing much on video games and
me
um
neither, to be
online
honest.
stuff.
Yeah,
Like
school's
I've been focusing a
more.
lot on
Continue.
school.
Same. School is more important to me at the moment rather than just playing like video games a lot, and pretty much doing content. Like, of course, I'm kind of like having small, tiny hiatuses during the week, and then just posting some short videos and move going on, whatever. But yeah,
Yeah, I can understand that though. Like it's like I mean, it's just a thing for like young people. They need
hmm
to. I guess they're like I don't know. It's hard to explain how like the brain works and how it needs like it gets exhausted quickly, especially in like online circumstances. Because online is definitely like it's a lot more. I don't want to say stressful because there's different ways of putting that, but I feel like online stuff things can escalate a lot quicker. Um,
yeah,
because especially like doing what you're doing, like videos and stuff like that. Like if you miss 1 week of uploading a video, you could be missing out on like a possible growth spurt of your channel, which
yeah,
which could like you can miss out on a lot. But so far, I think you've been doing good. Like you've been uploading shorts at least, and I saw one of your shorts like hit like 500 views or something, and I was like,
yeah,
dang, nice.
yeah. The
And
short videos do well. Honestly, that's a little tip. If
yeah.
you kind of want to try to at least get at some sort of head start growing a channel, then try doing some sort of shorts or whatever.
Yeah,
Just hope
cause I
they're
just like
good.
I mindlessly scroll those. Like I just scroll through the shorts and I just like them. Like I don't even pay attention. That's the first thing I do is I scroll to them and I like them, which I've noticed I do a lot for some reason. I do that for a lot of videos.
Yeah,
But yeah, I recently got like an Instagram and I've been seeing a lot of like I've been noticing a lot more like Apex Legends related stuff on there. Um, which has probably helped me out learn more about the lore and stuff like that because I can see more about comics along with like the notifications that I get from your server. Um, and like, I mean, I usually don't like social media that much, besides like Discord, YouTube, those type of social medias. But like social media, kind of like Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, especially Twitter, is just it can like bring your whole life and it can turn you to a really toxic person. I've been trying not to like post stuff like trying to get too involved on there, and I just try to keep up with friends. That's all I've been doing,
yeah,
which is why I got it to begin with. But yeah, that's like why I have it at least.
yeah. I just have social media because I enjoy it pretty much. Like, yeah, I got Instagram to keep up with people, like maybe on occasion. Well, I don't really promote myself on Instagram. I should do that more on my gaming Instagram,
Yeah, definitely.
threelnex.gg. Be sure. Wait, hold on. Let me retry that. Follow me on Instagram at threelnex.gg. Link will be in the description. Go ahead, follow me,
Yes, sir.
and I'll
Um,
try to get the post promoting content on there if I can.
yeah, it's something that I've told you about a couple times. Like, I like I told you that you should have made a TikTok, and you're like, hell no, I'm not doing that.
No,
And
no.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Mm-mm.
Uh, but yeah, I've told you about like marketing yourself, and that's a really important thing for like growing a channel.
Yeah, it is
Uh,
for sure.
like you really need to market yourself and sell yourself and take every opportunity to grow your like brand, I guess. But like that's just how it goes, I guess. Like I guess even like as a hobby, because you've been doing it as a hobby. Like, what is your goal? To be honest, like, are you trying to get like 1K or what are you trying to do?
But yeah, I said I've been wanting to get 1,000 subscribers pretty much. That's my main goal. It's really far out of reach though, to be honest. And my other goal is to pretty much just build up a community with a lot of people and
Yeah,
whatever.
that's what I really want for you at least is to build a giant community. like a community that you can be really comfortable around, and you know everyone by like by name, nickname, and you hang out with them, you talk to them, and you have a
Yeah.
good time, which is what I really want you to have because I'm a part of that community too.
Yeah.
So that would be really good for like everyone in that community to have more people to hang out with and have a good time with and get to know more people.
Yeah,
Um,
indeed.
yeah. So like I just think I don't really know because like my stance on on a YouTuber community is that some communities are really toxic and that like it like kind of like Apex, if I'm being honest, like I don't know if it's like I don't know if I'm like going out of line by saying this, but I think the Apex Legends community is kind of bitter, like bittersweet, you know?
Yeah,
Like they have good
it is.
moments, but sometimes they ruin it.
Yeah, some cases it's really good, and then some cases it's just kind of goes downhill and a lot of different things. Like especially if there's any problems Apex is having at the moment, it just quickly turns negative, and it could probably stay like at sort of like a condescending tone like throughout the rest of a season if there's one small screw up, and that screw up can actually is pretty much big. I shouldn't say small because it can be pretty large in the Apex community. Like once again, but trailers I think is what primary like the trailers again with like story from the Outlands, launch trailers and whatever, gameplay trailers. I think that's what really brings the community together and builds up the hype and gives us some positivity and hope that the game can be in a really good state. But then sometimes it
Yeah,
just gets
definitely.
screwed up by a, a bug, and then we're
You
all
know,
just
like a
thrown off
yeah, like a
balance.
server problem, because people were saying that like if Apex had one more server problem, that the game might completely die and it might fold in on itself.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, which I kind of agree with. Like I kind of agree with the fact that like Apex has been going through a lot of server issues and server problems, and it's been going on for a long time now, and it
mm-hmm.
hasn't really changed. So people are saying that like if something screws up, if season 11 doesn't go well, like the game will definitely drop in views and player count, which like I don't really know. Like I'll continue to play the game. Like I'll definitely continue to play the game, but I'll definitely be looking for other games to play. Like Apex
Yeah,
won't really be my go-to. Um, and I think it's kind of like sad that if Apex flops, then a lot of people are gonna be going like a lot of people are gonna be broke. You know that right? Like a lot of people are going to be going broke because there's so many people who put their life into this game, and people who make videos, people who play competitively, and people who like have their life centered around this game. And that's the same for every like competitive game. Like every online competitive game. And um, I think that's sad to see like the developers are doing stuff. Like I know they're trying, but I feel like they need to really like they need to hire more devs, like they need to hire more people
yeah, I
to
agree.
so that they can drop more stuff, so the content won't be as dry, and so that they have more people to work on issues that tend to pop up, which happens a lot, like more than I'd like to, you know, when I like to happen. But I think that's something that EA or I think it's probably an EA problem because they need to fund their game, like they need to fund Respawn more
Exactly.
so that they can really up their viewers, or not up their viewers, but their server and their player count. Um, you know, and like that's probably just something, that's something for all games, and I think it's probably like EA games the most because like EA tends to, they're that type of company. They're very like money hungry and greedy, or that's like how the media tends them out to be. Like people put them that company. It's EA. Like EA Sports is. It's hard to explain. It's kind of obvious. It's just one of those things. It's like a gimmick, I guess. EA's greedy, hungry
Mm-hmm.
money company. Like I guess it's the same for Blizzard. Um,
Yep.
and I think EA should probably pay their dev teams more money so that they could make more profit ultimately. Because the better your game does, the better or the more people will come to play that game. More people will enjoy it, and the game will be good all around. And that will bring you a lot more money than just holding the money and pretty much starving your companies of funding. Um,
EA is for sure like one
Yeah.
of the main problems when it comes to like Apex Legends' development, because like we've just seen the stuff that's gone on with the Halloween event, and like how they've monetized the new skins. Like EA is the publisher, and I think they have the most power when it comes to like monetizing skins and such. So I think that they are for sure like a factor that's playing into this. Like I don't know if like the servers is primarily EA's thing, or if it's more of the or Respawn's things. If it's Respawn's things, then they need to try to figure it out the best they can. But if it's something that if EA has something to do with like server issues in terms of like they're not providing well enough servers for Respawn or whatever, I don't know how the dev stuff works. Then like EA needs to get a grip on some things, like for sure. 'Cause it could kill Apex Legends. I don't know if it'll flat out kill it because I think it'll always have some sort of fan base, but
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
I think
Like
it'll
Titanfall.
yeah it will just really tone down to a certain point and whatever.
Yeah, that'll like I don't know. It's hard to think about because it's like a game that I play a lot or that I've invested a lot in,
And it's
and
become
I
one of
really don't
the
want this.
greatest games, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I really don't want this game to go down. I really don't want this game to flop. Because that's like what happened during the Halloween event. Like it really did bad. If I'm being honest, it did terrible.
Season
Um,
10's start was really strong, but then it just really just kind of got
it kind of like
butchered.
I mean, season 10 start. It had a lot of hype, and it did kind of promise that, and it did give a lot. But I think there's a little bit of problems, and then it started to go off the deep end with all these server problems and like all this other stuff, and then this event and then the collection event, um, kind of just like didn't really work out that well. It
Yeah.
didn't really follow through. Um,
S-
but hopefully season 11 will really
Yeah,
fix a lot. But I mean, like every patch will have its bugs.
yeah, season 11's gonna be probably a make or break season. Like, if the servers are bad at the beginning, then it's probably gonna be a break. But if there's a server issue, if they fix it fast, then it's gonna correct itself and then it'll become a little more better. But if it's just really smooth, like what season 10 was at the beginning, then it'll probably be decent. But who knows? I I have hope for season 11. There's a lot of hype going around it, especially with Ash again. So I hope that it does well and whatever.
Yeah,
And also,
yeah,
okay,
it's interesting.
yeah. So now to cut. So I think we're reaching the almost the ending time for this episode, but I kind of wanted to talk about like one more thing, or maybe two more things actually. The first thing I wanted to talk about doesn't involve Apex Legends, but it actually involves another game, Overwatch, and I have mentioned this before, but now we know more about this. The Overwatch character McCree, Jesse McCree, has been changed. Well, his name is now changed to Cole Cassidy. What are your thoughts, Keeper?
I like the name, but I don't know. It seems awkward changing his name.
Yep,
Um, yeah,
I
definitely.
agree.
Uh, I mean, the name isn't bad. Like, I kind of like the name because it gives me that cowboy vibe, and that's what McCree is.
You want to know
So,
something funny? I was
what?
looking through the post on Instagram that was showing about like talking about changing his name, and I saw a few people in the comment section say it sounded like a porn star's name.
Cole Cassidy. That's pretty funny.
uh, yeah, I don't think it's a bad name at all, Cole Cassidy. It doesn't sound bad at all. I think like the main reason people are upset was because it's unnecessary and just because like it's an iconic name. Like he's one of McCree was one of like the poster characters of Overwatch, so it's really weird for that to happen. And I can agree it was unnecessary to that extent, to be honest. Like, because once again, like no one thought of that shithead of a developer when they hear the word McCree. They think of a cowboy who has a freaking robotic arm and has a gun go
Yeah.
pew pew and flashbang go bang bang or whatever. No one thought of an idiot. Like it, like yeah, like but of course they've done what they've done. I would like to know the YouTube audience. I would like to know your thoughts about this in the comments section about Jesse McCree becoming Cole Cassidy. Again, I don't think it's a bad name, but it is a little awkward. I can agree with that. All right. Now, I think we're done with that topic. Now let's move on to the second topic, which is, I think, a topic that's pretty early to talk about, but I still wanted to talk about it anyways because I think it'll be really fun to talk about and give us an interesting picture at what's to come in the future of Apex Legends. And that is, who is going to be the Season 12 legend?
Um, Maggie? No, not Maggie. I hate Maggie. Was that Gunzerker? Yeah, Gunzerker.
Yeah.
That's Wait, aren't they like the same person?
We
Wait.
don't know, honestly. Okay, here's
Okay.
my thoughts. So, but I do think Maggie has like a good chance of becoming the next legend because from what we saw in like that when like the dev accidentally streamed, like there was a file that was shown for a Maggie character select screen. So, and there's also a character in the game files that we have mentioned of named Molly. And now I actually think Molly could actually be the code name for Maggie. And I'll probably explain that more in depth in a later video, but I don't really know. I just think that could be they could be linked somehow, especially how like Maggie could be a little more in development now, seeing as how she has a character selection. There could always be stuff for her in the game files, and we've seen similar stuff like that before. Like we've seen Hollow Spray files for Seer in season 8, for 2 seasons before he was out released. Then for Horizon, there was stuff. Her codename was in the game files like a couple of seasons before she was released as well. So I think that could be the same with Maggie, but we don't really know. And there's also the possibility Maggie is the new version of Hasaria, who was an older leaked legend, but we don't really know. Now, it could be possible that the Molly character is the same as Gunzerker, since like when you the ability that was referenced was a damage boost ability, and that makes me think of weapons, and Gunzerker was like a weapons specialist, so that could be. But we don't really know. I think Maggie and shockingly Blisk are the two big candidates for the season 12 legend. Like for Maggie's case, I think because like Maggie was like Fuse's best friend, like, and especially how season 12 is like the anniversary, and Fuse was released on an anniversary. They could do the same with Maggie, like make release her as a legend a year later after Fuse was. Like I think that'd be pretty convenient, honestly. And since there's a little more mention of Maggie than Blisk in like the game files, or possibly I don't know if Molly is for sure like the code name for Maggie or not, but I guess we'd have to see later on. And if that's the case, Maggie probably has a damage boost ability. Yeah, I think Maggie could be the season 12 legend in that circumstance. It would be convenient. And then
Possibly.
and then I also have a case for Blisk. So Blisk has been basically leaked as a legend for a long time now. Don't say he's not going to be a legend because we are getting Ash, who was the freaking arenas
Yeah.
announcer and whatever. So
You know, like people were thinking like they're not gonna add this character. They weren't gonna add an Ash, and they're not gonna add a Bliss. But then now they're adding Ash. Like, come on, like what?
yeah, if
And
they're
so there's
adding
definitely a
Ash, they're gonna
possibility.
add Blisk eventually. So
Yeah.
now let's get into the case for Blisk. So this is a little I don't this is not gonna be accurate, but Ash, her name starts with an A. Blisk starts with letter B. A B, alphabetical order.
Boom.
Okay,
Confirmed.
but
Hearing.
that's not a strong case though. In kind of a similar case with Maggie, like we're 12 season 12 is going to be Apex Legends anniversary, and they could probably want to do something big for that, like releasing another back-to-back Titanfall characters, which would be
Exactly.
absolutely insane. I also think it would be a little convenient seeing as how again like Ash, she was one of the main lore characters, and like she was an Apex Predator or whatever, of course, and I think it would be kind of cool to see Blisk come in right after. But they've kind of went in like starting with Valkyrie. She has some Titanfall lore tied into her. She's the daughter of Viper. Valkyrie, who is Titanfall related, kind of. Then there was Seer, who was not Titanfall related at all. And then we had Ash, Titanfall related. They could probably add a non-Titanfall related character next. Then season 13, they could add a
Oh
Titanfall
yeah.
related character, which could be
Like
Blisk.
they could add Maggie and then Bliss. That's
Yeah,
how that would work.
that could be a potential order as well. But okay, let's try to get back into Blisk's case now. Yeah, of course, like season 12 is gonna be the anniversary. They could do something big, like release a character who is very well known in Titanfall lore. Again, Blisk and
Boom. Jack Cooper.
Jack Cooper.
I really want them. Wait, Jack Cooper is probably like young. He was like 30. I'm guessing like 30 or 20 something. In
Yeah, in Titanfall.
in Titanfall 2, and Bliss is like I think he's like 60 now, and he was pretty young in
Yeah,
Titanfall
Blisk is
2.
like in his 50s, like probably
Yeah,
around his late
50.
50s, so he'd be an old man legend, like Fuse entering the games.
Yeah, so Jack Cooper is probably a little younger than him.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that he's gonna be
Oops.
added or anything like or what was that? Did
That
you
was
just
my
get like knocked out or
microphone.
something?
I was plugging my computer and it's low, little low on battery, so I just plugged in and hit my microphone. Okay, so
So
what were you saying?
yeah, I feel like Jack Cooper being added in as a Titan, or fuck, I was going to say Titan, but if he was added into a Legend, that would be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I wonder what his
Yeah.
ability would be, but it'd probably be cloaking. If you think about it, it'd
Cloaking.
probably be cloaking, because in the campaign, his ability was cloaking. Um, and that would be awesome. Like, oh my god, I really want them to add a lot more Titanfall characters. That would have been awesome. It would have been better if they didn't if they didn't just kill off all the apex predators, or if Blisk in like the years when after all that after the arc hold and all that other stuff happened, that he kind of got his apex predator team back together, like
Yeah.
and he has new like people on his team, but I don't know. Um, I think, and it's also a retcon because you can see like you obviously destroy Ash, like you obliterate Ash in the campaign Titanfall 2, and in the trailer or the launch trailer you can, or I don't think it's in the launch trailer, but it's in the story of the Outlands. But
Yeah, sorry for the
that you can
Outlands.
see Ash, you can see in the Ash she just gets like merely squished, and like her arm and like her like leg falls off, and that's it. And that's like not what happened at all, which is hilarious, I think, because she gets obliterated, like she gets destroyed. Like you can clearly see like she explodes. It's funny. So it's like from that perspective, you can see it's clearly a retcon. It's a retcon that Ash is. I'm pretty sure Apex as a whole is a retcon. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking. Um, but I wish they didn't kill off like all the apex predators.
Yeah. Alright, so now kind of going back to the case for Blisk becoming a future legend, possibly in Season 12. There was. Okay, you remember Bias 12 and he was leaking all that stuff back then. Okay, so the order from the leaks was there was that video of Blisk's abilities, which I think are going to be accurate, seeing as how the phase breach video ended up prevailing to this day. I think that's the same as with that video showing his Titan ability and his tactical. That's most likely to be the same. But that video was released. Then we had Ash's ultimate, and then we had this fake pariah abilities, which ended up becoming Seer. Oddly enough, it was kind of. This is a little eerie. It was going. I think it's going in a backwards order from that. Because we had Seer, who again used to be Pariah. Then we had Ash, and then Blisk would be next. So it seems like it was kind of going in a backward order from the way those leaks were going. But again, I don't
Oh,
really
so you
think they
think
can.
that you think like isn't okay if it's in okay, so it's pretty much like in leaked order, but they're gonna add in the legends backwards. Is that what
Yeah.
you're thinking?
Like,
All right.
I don't know how much Bias 12 knew from, like, the insider that he got his information from. Like, it could. Obviously, I don't think he would have been, like, intentionally putting it in that order. So there's a lot of gray area when it comes to that speculation. But I just found it a little eerie how it seems to be going in that order. So, I don't know. But Blisk, of course, like, we don't know. Like, again, it could be the thing that they're doing, like, maybe, like, as of now, Titanfall character, non-Titanfall character, Titanfall character, non-Titanfall character, then Titanfall character. It could be that. Or it could be in that little
Yeah.
backwards order. But who knows? Like, whoever the Season 12 legend ends up being, it's going to be really exciting and really cool. I don't have a set opinion on who I think it will be yet. It's either going to be Maggie or Blisk. Gunzerker, I can vouch that they will end up coming to the game. But I don't think Gunzerker will be coming in Season 12, to be honest. Seeing as how, like, when you look at the first insider leak that we got of a character select screen, it didn't have Gunzerker on it. The insider leak that showed Gunzerker didn't come out until a little bit later. So I think could be possible Gunzerker might be the last to come out of all those characters, but we don't really know. we're gonna have to see eventually, like, what ends up being the case. Like, once again, whoever's the season 12 legend, it'll be really exciting. And once again,
Yeah, well.
what?
What? I said yeah, well.
Yeah, well. Yeah, well.
What?
Are you well?
What? Yeah, wait, did you not hear what I said? What? What? I said yeah, wait, what did I say again?
You
I
said
said
yeah,
yeah, oh,
well.
I said yeah. Yeah, it will.
Oh, yeah, it will. Okay. I just said yeah, well. Okay.
Yeah, well.
This was a pretty long episode, to be honest. We talked about quite a few things. Like, again, we started off with the Season 11 stuff, Ash, Stormpoint, Battle Pass, Car SMG. We ended up kind of giving a tad bit of speculation about the next collection event. And then we talked a little bit about, like, social media, YouTube, or whatever, and growing a community. And we also then talked about Apex, the health of Apex Legends, kinda, just and whatever its problems, and it could flop. I don't know. And then we also talked about the Overwatch character, Jesse McCree's name change to Cole Cassidy. Let me know what your thoughts about his new name are in the comment section. And then we talked about who could possibly be the Season 12 legend. Really early to talk about that, but we just thought we should talk about it anyways, because it's fun. And that is going to be all for episode 17 of the Triple Apex podcast. This was an interesting and fun episode. Glad we could have our co-host back. Well, yeah, to my YouTube audience, thank you for watching. If you did end up liking it, then be sure to give it a like. And if you're brand new here to the channel, be sure to subscribe and turn on that bell icon so you can get notified for whenever I upload a new video and a new podcast episode. Also, be sure to join the Discord server. The link will be in the description below. It is also where I'm doing the podcast from live, so if you want to listen to it live on Saturdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, then join the Discord server. Once again, link in the description. I also have a Guilded server, so if you have Guilded and are looking for any servers to join on there, then I'll leave a link to that in the description too, and you can go join that if you want. Also, be sure to follow me on twitch.tv/3LNEX and follow my Instagram at 3LNEX.gg. And follow Keeper as well.
Yes, my IG is known as Castle.
Yes.
All together, no spaces.
Alright. Anyways, that's going to be it for episode 17 of the Triple Apex podcast. I will see you all later. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye.
Goodbye.